Sometimes it's just the permission you give others to be cruel. So I put the box in my trunk, lifted my phone, and took the photo. My father called after me. "What? Collecting evidence for your therapist?" I looked straight at him, and for the first time that day, I spoke. "No, for later." Then I left. Silence is a terrifying thing. When people are used to your labor, your forgiveness, and your availability showing up on demand. The first 3 days? Nothing. No calls, no messages, because they thought they'd won. That's how entitlement works. It mistakes absence for surrender, right up until the machine starts shaking. The first crack came Monday afternoon. A municipal client rejected a permit resubmission. Expired insurance certificate. Normally, I would have caught it, fixed it, resolved it before anyone even noticed. This time, it sat, until the client copied my father directly, final delay before reassignment. He called me once, I let it ring. Tuesday, the project management system went down. Subscription failed. Backup card gone, primary card declined. That meant no schedules, no work orders, no install dates, just silence. My uncle called 3 times, no voicemail. Janice sent 1 text. Dad says stop being dramatic and log in. Wednesday morning, 7:12 a.m. my father called, for the first time in months using his polite voice, the one reserved for pastors and bankers. "Sophia, sweetheart, call me when you get this. There's some confusion with the utility account. I think maybe your card is still linked somehow. We can straighten it out." Confusion, I almost admired it. By Thursday, the tone changed. My uncle left a voicemail, sober enough to sound scared, saying he didn't mean anything at the party, blaming the alcohol, asking nicely if I could just help with the van payment, because if they lost Friday's install job, everyone suffers. Everyone. That word families love, most right after they isolate someone. I still didn't answer. Friday is when it crossed over. Janice called crying, which told me everything. She doesn't cry over principles. She cries over inconvenience. She said Dad was spiraling. Brandon was blaming everyone. Grandma said God was punishing the house. Then she got to the point. She needed $600. Rent, her hours got cut. Dad had promised to help, but there was some issue with payroll. And then she said it. "Please don't make this into a thing." That phrase, it followed me for years. Don't make it a thing. When Brandon made comments about my body. Don't make it a thing. When Dad used my room for storage. Don't make it a thing. When Janice borrowed money and forgot. Don't make it a thing. When Grandma compared me to women half her age with perfect lives. My pain was always the thing. Their behavior, just weather, so I asked her one question. "Do you know why Dad can't help you?" Silence. Then, "No, he just keeps saying cash flow is weird." "Cash flow is weird," I repeated, and then I laughed. That night she texted again, angry, accusing me of punishing the family because my feelings were hurt, saying Dad had every right to kick me out, saying normal adults pay rent. I sent one screenshot. Not everything, just a slice. 3 months. Line items, her name, my father's company, the workshop utilities. Underneath, I wrote, "Since you're interested in contribution." She didn't reply for 2 hours. Then, "What is this?" "A sample," I said. Saturday morning, my father called 6 times. By voicemail 3, the confidence was gone. By voicemail 5, so was the anger. By voicemail 6, all that was left was panic trying to sound professional. "Sophia, please call me back. I'm asking as your father. We need to understand what exactly you've been paying and what you turned off. Brandon says the vendor account is locked. The workshop power is pending disconnect. One of the trucks might get pulled because the insurance bounced." Pause. If this is some kind of lesson, okay. Lesson learned, just call me. Lesson learned. Interesting, not "I'm sorry," not "we were wrong." Just a man realizing his invisible safety net had disappeared. That afternoon, I did something I had imagined for years. I built the truth. Not emotional, not messy, not loud, professional, 31 pages, cover sheet, timeline, amounts, screenshots, payment references, sections for company expenses, household support, direct transfers, unpaid labor, clean, undeniable, at the very end, one image, the banner, my family smiling beneath it. I printed 2 copies, one for me, one for whoever needed to see it. I wasn't planning to send it yet, but sometimes timing doesn't wait. Especially when people are busy digging their own hole. I didn't send the file right away. Not because I hesitated, because I didn't have to. People like my father don't stop digging when the ground starts collapsing. They dig faster. Monday morning he called again. No anger this time, no performance. just urgency dressed up as authority. "Sophia," he said, "we need to handle this privately. Whatever you think you're proving, it's gone too far." Privately, of course, because private is where truth goes to get rewritten. That same morning, I got an email from one of his largest clients. Subject line, "Urgent clarification needed." They had received the invoice, the unedited one, the one that sounded exactly like him, and they didn't like it. Not the tone, not the inconsistencies, not the numbers. They were asking questions. Detailed ones, the kind that don't go away with charm and volume. By noon, my father wasn't calling to negotiate anymore. He was calling to contain. My uncle left another voicemail short this time. "Just call your dad. Not us. Not everyone. Just him, because even they knew this wasn't a family problem anymore. This was structural." At 2:17 p.m. I sent the file, not to everyone, just one person. The client who had asked the questions. No message, no explanation, just the document. There's something people misunderstand about truth. They think it needs a speech. It doesn't. It just needs to land in the right place. By Wednesday, the fallout had a rhythm. One client paused a project. Another requested a full audit of outstanding invoices. A third asked for proof of insurance coverage across all active jobs. And suddenly, the man who had built his authority on confidence was being asked for documentation. He called me that night, not as a father, not even as a boss, as a man running out of options. "I don't know what you think you're doing," he said, voice tight, controlled, "but you're destroying this family." I let him finish. Then I said something he had never heard from me before. "No, silence. You built this," I continued. "I just stopped holding it together." He tried one last angle. "Guilt. If your mother could see this," I hung up. Friday morning, I got a notification, a local business forum. Someone had posted about concerns regarding Taylor Graphics and Install. Not an accusation, not yet, just questions. But questions spread. By the end of the week, 2 contracts were gone, one was reassigned, the other under review. And just like that, the company that survived on noise and improvisation had to operate in silence. And proof. That's when my father did something unexpected. He showed up. At my apartment. I opened the door. He looked smaller, not physically, but structurally, like something invisible had been removed. He glanced past me at the clean space, the quiet, the life I had built without them. "You've made your point," he said. It wasn't an apology, it was a negotiation. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. "No," I said calmly, "you're just now seeing it." He exhaled, frustrated. "What do you want?" There it was. The question that had never been asked before. Not what's fair. Not what happened, just what do you want? I handed him the second copy of the packet. Tabbed, organized, final. "This is what I covered," I said. "This is what you owe." He flipped through it. At first dismissive, then slower, then quiet. "That's not how family works," he said. There it was again, the line, the shield. I met his eyes. Exactly. For a moment, he looked like he might argue. Raise his voice. Rewrite the story one more time, but something stopped him. Maybe the numbers, maybe the silence, maybe the fact that for the first time I wasn't staying. "I can't pay all of this," he said finally. "I know," I replied. "And I'm not asking you to." That confused him. "Good. I'm asking you to understand it," I continued. "To sit with it. To know exactly what it cost. To keep your version of reality intact." He didn't respond, because there wasn't a version of this where he could. I opened the door, stepped back inside, and ended the conversation the same way I had ended everything else, without permission. 3 months later, Taylor Graphics and Install downsized. Not a dramatic collapse, just quieter, smaller, careful. The kind of change that happens when denial is no longer affordable. My sister stopped posting about family loyalty. My uncle found work somewhere else. My grandmother started using softer words. Not kinder, just quieter. And me, I built something that didn't require survival tactics. Clients who paid on time. Work that stayed clean. A life where silence wasn't punishment, it was peace. I still have the photo, the banner, the laughter, the moment they thought they had won. Sometimes I look at it, not with anger, not even with satisfaction, just clarity, because that day, they didn't get rid of a freeloader. They lost the one person who had been keeping the entire story from falling apart. And the truth is, they didn't believe me when I said it was for later. But it was. Most of the time, people can't afford accountability. You do not need to set yourself on fire to keep the family warm. You do not need to be the draft horse. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is unplug the castle, walk out the front door, and never look back. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from today, so leave a comment below and tell me what you thought about the ending. If you enjoyed this story and want more like it, make sure to subscribe to the myrevengespace channel, like this video, leave a comment, and please do share the good news to everyone. Until next time, stay strong and stay free.